we knew back in spring practice that this was going to be a different group in terms of quality people, investment, football, that people that love the game. When you get off to the 0-2 start, it would have been easy for guys to bail or to kind of just cash in, or not in a physical sense, but in an emotional sense, and not keep investing. Our mantra this year is invest. And I said, sometimes when people are pulling the money out, that's when you have to invest more. And the more you're invested, the luckier you get. And we catch a bounce. James, Timmons, it's funny, all those back, it all evens out in the end, but it just felt like the last, couple weeks we were getting, bad breaks, and there are no excuses, but whether it's a freak injury or Jared Williams losing his footing on the first punt, I'm thinking how if we could come up and scoop and score that would have been 7, and just so proud the way we battled. I thought Steve had an unbelievable game. I think Io, we've known for a long time. Io came in, rushed for 500 yards as a true freshman, which isn't easy to do, and kind of today really had that breakout game. I think we were able to establish the run against a very, very good New Hampshire team, and that kind of set the table for the rest of the game in the second half. And Victor, Victor comes up with the big sack. We're rushing 8. We're dropping 8. We're rushing 3. And all game long we've been kind of working. The outside guys on the 3-man rush were pinching, and they were kind of mirroring with the inside guy. But Victor took him high and beat him off the set, and then retraced and kind of we call it a sack fumble that we actually work on. For the ball to kind of bounce out there, and for James to make that play was just, that'll stay with him as a true freshman for the next 45 years. But just so proud of our staff and our players. I said to the guys before the game, I said, you know what, hey, there's a ton of front runners out there in the stands. I said, we believe in you more now than we ever have at any point. And last night at our team meeting, we talked about, truly the sense of belief that this group has in one another, and we've got unbelievable leadership, and I'm so proud of our seniors. When you're not having a ton of team success, you kind of take that personal, and these guys did take it personal, and just every day came out. And we had another great week of practice, which we've had for 3 weeks, and really that's just a credit to those guys.
Questions for the student athletes? Yeah, for the student athletes first.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Any questions for them?
James, when we saw that ball pop loose, was there any plan just to fall on it and let the offense take over, or you see all that open field in front of you and thought, I'm going for this?
No, our defensive coordinator, Coach Navarro, always tells us to scoop and score no matter what, so I was thinking that the whole time. I was thinking we needed something like that on the sideline before that, then we went out there and we got it.
Did you hear the crowd, everyone just going crazy?
I couldn't even hear anything until they tripped. I was just hoping to get in the end zone without getting caught.
Coach, you feel that was a defensive effort, especially the front line? Is that had an effort like that?
Well, it's funny because I think it's easy to get lost in the final score. I know, and Victor and I were talking after the Buffalo game. We give up 31 points, but when you go back and watch that film, we really dominated the line of scrimmage. And it did show that in the final score, but you kind of saw 31-0. It's a bit of a butt kicking, but. Victor and I were talking. He said, "Hey man, I'm telling you, I thought we could have a great year and compete for a championship before the year, but I believe it more in my heart right now after playing against the Division I team from the MAC." And we'll go back and watch the film. Obviously, I'm sitting there saying this is going to be another. The last couple of years they've been shootouts, and they come down and score in the first 2 drives, and we settle down and we make some adjustments call-wise to put them in better situations. And I'm like. But anytime you have an explosive offense, that New Hampshire has, you're always in harm's way. And we were just fortunate to make plays we had to in the second half.
Victor, was any feeling when they went for that 2-point conversion after the second touchdown? Was there a feeling that's a little disrespected?
Yeah, I did feel real disrespected with that. We knew, and especially since we knew about the play, and still they came out there knowing that we knew about it, and still went out there. I felt a lot of disrespect and made our defense play with more of an edge.
Well, the irony there is that that's what's called we call that gator, because I don't know if you remember that formation, but it's a non-traditional set. Not only did they go for 2, but it was a center and 2 guards, and everyone else was kind of spread out. We rep that every single week, and they hadn't really done that. And it was defended in terms of usually when you have those bastardized formations, you're worried about somebody just being completely uncovered. And we got lined up, and we made the check that everyone was where they were, and then. I think one of our younger ends just didn't keep coming, and they ended up scoring. But know, it was kind of a funny play.
Yeah, Steve, you transferred in here, you had to replace Chris Paul, and now you have a big statement win. You first win, one of the biggest wins in the program's history. What was it like? The center, how do you feel about it?
It was unbelievable. I mean, it was just good to know that the defense has your back. I mean, which is awesome. Because, I mean, you got to figure if Timmons doesn't get that ball, we probably get the ball. Offense probably gets the ball back in like a minute 30, maybe one timeout, maybe even 0. Just trying to stop the clock. You know, I mean, just speaking from the fourth quarter, that last player, it was unbelievable just to know that the defense has your back and not everything has to rely on you. And, I mean, we just do a great job of executing. I think. I mean, obviously down the stretch, it was just unbelievable. I mean. I can't even explain it. It was ridiculous. But being on the center, it's great. I feel like I'm at home. I love Hofstra, but I'm here to be around.
You think that this team could contend for a CAA title?
100%. Why not? What's UNH? Ranked 6th in the nation? What was it? 8?
8th.
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, Coach Strand's always talking about just executing and believing. The guys that we have in our locker room are just great at just doing their thing and following the rules and doing the plan. So I mean, I don't see why not. Take it one game at a time. We got a bye week next week, and just enjoy this win. And just continue to get better and watch the film and be critical. So.
What can you say about the way Io ran the ball today? I mean, he found space in between tackles. It seemed like he was a different running back today.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't really say anything about it. I was a freak. I mean, he's probably one of the premier backs in this league, and when he turns it on, he turns it on. So I mean, just like it's nice when you don't have to throw the ball every down. I mean, you can run the ball. When you can run the ball, I mean, you have a great balance. So when you can run the ball, you can pass the ball, you can do anything. So I mean, Io, he's just a good playmaker.
Your first 2 drives in the red zone, I think you had 4 yards up 6 plays. What changed after that when you got in the red zone again?
I mean, we had a play down the north end, I think, and we just ran a play, and the offensive line protected great the pass. I mean, we didn't have a frontside read, and then Anthony got open in the back, and I saw him, and I hit, and I threw it to him, and he made a good play. I mean, it's just all about executing. I mean, the plan's there, and I mean, when you don't score points, most of the time you don't follow the rules and you don't follow the plan. So I mean, if you just follow the plan, these coaches obviously know what they're doing. Coach Pence had a great plan this week, and we followed it. And the other day, I mean, if you follow the plan, you're gonna win.
Yeah, what do you have to say about Steve? Best backs in the league. He had a great game today. What can you say about that?
Today I was just hungry. Today was a good day for me. I came out. I was hungry. I don't know. Just like doing this. I'm hungry. That's what I'm saying. I'm hungry.
That's why when he fumbled that ball down on our end, he must have been pretty full at that point. He was pumping the ball up, I guess.